I think Perry and I are going to have an argument here because we were discussing in the office this next subject, and it is this idea that there are no easy games left in football. Jermaine Defoe, who we quoted you before, said in his press conference ahead of the Moldova game on Friday, he said, which we'll be covering, of course, here, he said there are no easy games in international football. Now, I'd say that was complete rubbish when you're playing Moldova and you've got San Marino in your group. Now, those are easy games, I'm sorry, but they are easy games, and England should win those. England's group, okay, it's Group H. Let's have a look. Group H, World Cup qualifying, we have Poland, we have Ukraine, we have Montenegro, we have Moldova, and we have San Marino. I would contest that England should be hauled off and taken to the gulags if they can't win that group. You say they won't even win the group.
No, I don't think they win it. They should. I agree with you 100%, and I don't agree with Jermaine Defoe. I don't think there are easier games in national football. If you look at do you realise we're world ranked 3?
Yeah,
we're the third best team in the world on the FIFA, because we win all of our meaningless friendlies. So there's a different equation that they do.
Still having
the
therapy
rankings.
for that.
But if you go with the FIFA rankings, you have Moldova 137th, Ukraine 45th, Poland 54th. San Marino 2,786. I think the Christmas Islands are above them.
Yeah.
And Montenegro 50th. So
number
the reason,
three. Number three.
The reason
we can't lose.
The reason that I don't think we're going to win our group is one reason only, and it's because of Roy Hodgson. I just think the way that he sets his teams up.
So controversial.
He can't. I said it before.
I know.
The Euros, and it wasn't. Everybody said, "Oh, you know, we did really well. We only had a certain time to be with the team." And the way it gets on. He plays no other way than 4-4-2, and he doesn't give his teams the license or the ambition or the freedom to go and play. Now, if he changes his coaching philosophy, and everybody went, "Oh, against Italy, it was more free-flowing, Ash Young, you know, on one side, and interchanging like all the wingers and Adam Johnson on the other," that's in a friendly. There's no pressure in a friendly. And when we scored our winning goal, I think it was Jermaine Defoe scored the winner, didn't he?
For which one?
Against Italy, we beat them 2-1, didn't we?
No. Yes.
Yes. Oh, in the friendly.
In
the friendly, yeah.
Defoe.
Yeah, right. So
okay. We
were defending a corner in the 90th minute, and we broke on Italy, and we committed 4 or 5 players into the attacking areas because it was a friendly. If that was in a qualifying game, that's not going to happen. So I'll change my opinion if I see the way that Roy Hodgson changes and sets his teams up. Because I agree with you, we should romp that.
How will he set his team up against Moldova away?
He'll set his team up
on Friday.
It will be 4-4-2 with 2 holding midfield players. Frank Lampard will probably be one of them. And he might play one up front.
Who?
I think he'll probably play Danny Welbeck up front on his own.
He could end up playing Defoe. He could end up playing Defoe with Welbeck.
I don't think he will, because he'll go and try and be difficult to beat, difficult to break down, where really you should be saying, look, they should be worrying about us more. The talent that we have, we should be going in to impose ourselves on Moldova. And I just think that, as I said, with Roy Hodgson at Fulham and at West Brom, teams brilliantly set up, very difficult to beat, lower expectations. If you draw away at Blackburn Rovers, when
it's easy not to lose, but it's difficult to win.
To try and go and win the game. So,
well, I have this theory, you see, about when the FA puts up certain players in pre-match press conferences, like today, they had Oxlade-Chamberlain, and they also had Jermaine Defoe. I always think it's a ruse to sort of throw the opposition. So I think, they might be playing, might they? And they're not. They're going to be on the bench.
I think there's an awful lot to be positive about, though, with this new setup. And I'm surprised to hear you're sort of erring on the side of caution and lack of enthusiasm for Hodgson.
Yes, very much
to put it mildly. But if you think about the way that the team and the squad handled themselves this summer, it was one of the first times in probably 15 to 20 years where I think we all, as the public, looked on at the England squad and thought, gosh, things are changing now. We look like we want it. We look like we know how to get there. The fact that we lost on penalties, in my mind, was almost it was something that we can discard, because everything leading up to the penalty loss.
We were rubbish against Italy.
Claire, did you watch the game?
I watched every single game.
We were outpassed by France. We were outpassed by Ukraine. Sweden, we were staring down the barrel, and then everybody says he made this magical substitution with Theo Walcott coming on. The whole country was screaming for Theo Walcott to come on and change the game. So that wasn't a masterpiece tactically. All the games that I saw, I didn't see, and I know that we were more difficult to beat, the players were working a bit hard, but we're supposed to feel grateful that international players are actually going to work hard and give 100% for their country. I don't buy into that.
I think the performances up to the Italy game were, they were solid, and everyone knew what they were doing, and we got out of the group, and everyone said, that's probably as much as we expected, anything else as a bonus. And then when we played Italy, it was we couldn't even keep the ball for more than 4 passes, and it was like, oh my God, it's like the worst days of watching England from 10, 15 years ago.
But that's what we're like. Unfortunately, we're not, though. The England team, the England squad hasn't been able to get out of this rut since 1990, I would say. We have been, this is where we are in the rankings.
We're third best team.
Well, you're a 96, you could say.
No, actually,
you're a 96.
I've never agreed with our players aren't good enough. I've never agreed, because when you see Steven Gerrard playing, when he's playing for Liverpool with Torres and Alonso, he didn't look out of place. When you see the Chelsea players, the Frank Lampards, the Ashley Coles, when they're playing with the Drogbas and the Essieans and the Masses, they don't look out of place.
When you see Steven Gerrard suffering from cramp after an hour in that game against Italy, you're thinking, why is that?
But
because
he's doing all the running.
Yeah, because he's defending so much and chasing the ball around, because we don't keep the ball. So that's why he probably cramps up a little bit more. And Claire's probably right. Like the World Cup in 1990. Then I actually think when we had Terry Venables in '96, we looked a decent side who played good football, and the players even although I'm not Glenn Hoddle's greatest fan, even in the World Cup under Glenn Hoddle, we looked like we had some structure and a manager who encouraged the players to keep the ball.
Look,
I agree with you. Our 4-4-2 system, we just gave the ball. The manager's got to be brave enough to get the players on the ball and say, we're going to go through midfield, we're going to split the fullbacks, so centre halves are going to split. We drop deep, we put the 2 holding midfield playing for us, and we can never get out.